Upon hearing this, Du Cece glanced at Kai with a gratitude. At that time, if it wasn't for Kai's eyes being fast pulling her with him, she must have passed the white space formation gate with Xianxia and others. With her cultivation level, it is sure to be fierce. Don't look at Lian Guang's safe return. After all, he is proficient in driving puppets. In times of crisis, puppets can still prevent themselves from being destroyed. Du Cece will not be able to withstand this. Although a puppet was also encountered on this side of the black space formation gate, it was generally shocking and only dealt with one battle. After a few battles, Feijitu and others entered a icy, abnormal chamber where they found an ice crystal jade coffin. It seems vaguely that the jade coffin seemed to be lying alone, but they haven't figured who was lying inside, and they accidentally touched the restriction. The next thing that happened, Yonkai and others also know clearly. When the rules of heaven and earth in the Emperor Garden take effect, excluding everyone and sending them to a place far away from the Emperor Mountain. Now it seems that the jade coffin is the source of this change. Feijitu and others touched the restriction near the jade coffin, making everyone excluded from the ancient ruins, and then the Emperor Garden was born. It's just that who was in the jade coffin, Xianxia couldn't tell clearly, only knew that the other party should be a woman. Hearing this, Yonkai raised his eyebrows and thought about it. He was rejected by the law of heaven and earth twice before, and he saw a flourishing jade palm. The jade palm is obviously owned by the woman. In the ice crystal jade coffin of the Emperor Garden, there was also a lifeless woman lying among them. Does it matter? Yonkai knows nothing. Moreover, Flowing Flame, Sandfield and Emperor Garden have nothing to do with it. He is even more confused. Do not understand. Yonkai secretly shook his head. And there are many things in the Shadowed Star that are tricky. There is no Void King realm here, and even the highest level of alchemy master and item refining expert is only void grade low rank, as if it is suppressed by some power, and can't break through the shackles. Yonkai faintly felt that this Shadow Star is not simple. It was a safe journey. After several days, a group of people returned to the heavenly fate city. Kai, Du Cece and Lian Guang said farewell after another, while Xianxia chatted with Yonkai and Yan Yu before leaving. Knowing what he was thinking in his heart, and along the way, Xianxia took care of himself. Of course Yonkai would not be stingy, and immediately told him that if he has time, he can come to Dragon Cave Mountain as a guest. If he needs to repair the secret treasure, just tell it straight. With the promise, Xianxia was overjoyed and thankful. He left in a hurry. It seemed to be preparing. After all, to repair the secret treasures, he had to collect some materials. He couldn't let Yonkai also come out with the materials. Standing outside Heavenly Fate City, Yonkai looked up at the sky. At this moment, the Emperor Garden seems to have stabilized, and it is suspended somewhere above the Shadowed Star. The size still does not change, but the power of the Emperor prestige has disappeared, obviously because it is too far from the ground. He don't know what happened to Feijitu and Qiantong, but Yonkai estimated that in the next long period of time, all major forces on the Shadowed Star will be surging. After all, Emperor Garden's birth is a matter of great importance. There is no force that doesn't care about it. At that time, if you want to get a slice of it, there will definitely be some friction and contradictions. After watching for a while, Yonkai's expression suddenly sank and became ugly. He hadn't paid much attention to it before, but when he looked at the Emperor's Garden at this moment, he suddenly found that it actually stayed above Heavenly Fate City. It can also be said that it stayed above Dragon Cave Mountain. Yonkai almost couldn't hold back his mouth and scolded. The Emperor Garden stays here. Although Dragon Cave Mountain can be close to the water, it will definitely cause some unnecessary troubles. The powerful forces of the Shadowed Stars will definitely come here to investigate, and they will not go to the Shadow Moon Hall. But is not necessarily the case for Dragon Cave Mountain. Even if there is Qiantong to take shelter, it is impossible to be peaceful. His face was hazy, and he stood there thinking for a while. Yonkai stomped his feet, his figure flicked, and he flew towards Dragon Cave Mountain. Worrying about these things now is meaningless. He does not have such a heavenly means to get the Emperor Garden away. What he has to consider now is to strengthen the protection ability of Dragon Cave Mountain, so as to avoid the time when the fish and dragon are mixed and caught the attention of some people. While staring at the starry sky, Emperor Xianxia hurried back quickly. In a short while, he came to the big mountain array of Dragon Cave Mountain, took out the token that Yang Yan gave himself, and poured Saint Yuan into it. At the next moment, a stream of light was shot from the token and poured into the large formation. In the obscure front, a straight passage suddenly appeared. Xianxia's face was indifferent. He withdrew the token and walked inwards. After he walked in, the passage disappeared again, and the entire Dragon Cave Mountain was once again shrouded in clouds. No one can see inside this place from the outside. As soon as he entered, Wu Yi and a few figures flew over, and after seeing Xianxia, these people were all happy and saluted. Xianxia didn't remember what these people were called. They only knew that they were originally disciples of the Haike's family. As Wu Yi got out of the family and joined Dragon Cave Mountain, the strength of these people was uneven and the realm was low. However, with the help of the amazing financial resources of Dragon Cave Mountain, everyone's cultivation level has been greatly improved. Now the leading one has arrived in the Saint King realm, and the rest are all in the Saint Stage 3rd order. This cultivation level is naturally not high in the outside, but it is not something that the small forces of the Haike's family can cultivate in a short time. Sect Master, you came back. The leading Saint King realm shouted in surprise, but there was a trace of anxiety on the face. Xianxia frowned, stunned. What Sect Master? The leader laughed and said, Young lady said to call you Sect Master when I see you in the future. She said that you are going to open a sect in the future. It doesn't matter if we call it early. Xianxia was speechless. He does have the idea to establish a sect, not to develop his own power, but to pave the way for those relatives and friends on the Tongxuan continent. Once the opportunity arrives to bring them to the Star Territory, they will definitely need a foothold. The number of those people is enough to form a sect. He never mentioned this, but Wu Yi was very thoughtful and observant. Xianxia didn't mean to delve deeper. He looked at him and said, What happened while I was away? Why do you look so worried? Did the Xie family do anything? He took it for granted that before leaving, Xie's family was targeting Dragon Cave Mountain. Xianxia thought that after he left, what happened to Dragon Cave Mountain was a little hard for them to handle. Hearing this question, the leading martial artist quickly said, No, the Xie family does not pose a threat to our Dragon Cave Mountain. After you left, they tried a few times, but how many people were dead there with no place for burial? In the end, after a few times, they also learned, and dared not to break into our large formation. Then why do you look like this? Yes. The martial artist looked at Xianxia with a complicated face, as if it was a little difficult to tell. If you have nothing to say, why bother? Xianxia's face sank. It's Miss Yang Yan. The martial artist gritted his teeth and shouted. Yang Yan? Xianxia's face changed. What happened to Yang Yan? I don't know, but I heard from the young lady that Miss Yang Yan suddenly became unconscious from a few days ago, and she didn't know what happened. The young lady and Qianyu girl are trying to find a way. The leading martial artist was answering Xianxia's question and he didn't finish yet and Xianxia already disappeared. With the cultivation of his Saint King First Order, he didn't even find out how Xianxia disappeared. His heart suddenly burst into a gleam, and a trace of admiration and envy appeared on his face. Hearing what happened to Yang Yan, Xianxia also felt worried after listening his word. Since coming to the Shadowed Star, he has only a few friends he can meet, and he has few friends. Yang Yan is one of them. Her weight in the heart of Xianxia is definitely the first. Without her, Dragon Cave Mountain will not have such a scale. Without her, Xianxia will not have so many secret treasures. Dragon Cave Mountain can have today's development. Yang Yan make great contributions. Xianxia can practice with a peace of mind, without any worries, is also thanks to Yang Yan's blessing. At the beginning, this mysterious woman was still making Saint Crystal in the item refining hall of Heavenly Fate City. If it was not by chance, Xianxia brought her back and the two people would miss each other. With the passage of time, Yang Kai discovered more and more of Yang Yan's importance, and now when he heard that she had an accident, he was naturally anxious. Spiritual mind released and quickly found out where Yang Yan was, in the attic where she lived. At this moment, Xianyu and Wu Yi were also here. One brought a bowl of potion, and did not know what it was. Put it into Yang Yan's mouth, while the other sat cross-legged on the bed, continuously pouring Saint Yuan into Yang Yan's body, to wake her up. The two women were in a state of sorrow and anxiety. In a daze, a figure suddenly appeared. Wu Yi and Xianyu's complexion changed, and they were about to attack, but they saw that it was Yang Kai. Yang Kai didn't have time to talk to the two of them. He glanced at Yang Yan and found that she was pale and unconscious. Even in the drowsiness, she seemed to be experiencing some nightmare. The Saint Yuan in her body is also fluctuating up and down, and it is extremely uneasy, as if it is going to become devil, which is worrying. Yang Kai quickly came to the bed, took her hand, put his finger on her wrist, the spiritual mind flowed, and examined her body. A moment later, his brow furrowed and he let go of Yang Yan's wrist. Then he asked, "What happened? When did it happen?" Wu Yi and Xianyu looked at each other, and the former replied, "Just before 4 days ago, she was still okay. I was laying down some materials for her to refine some things. Her complexion suddenly looked wrong. I didn't know what was going on, I didn't know what happened, and she directly fainted in the ground. Ever since I took her back, she has been unconscious. After the healing pill medicine you left before, and the medicine pill to restore divine consciousness given to her, also not showing any improvement. To be continued."